This conference will now be recorded.
What we do is we start doing that. And one more thing is probably after this core Python, we start machine learning. That's what I'm thinking. But I will update that on that part actually. We first do analytical Python. After analytical Python, we push to this one. Okay. So now let us continue with functions. Actually, we do last some programs and functions here. Okay. So anything else? We have questions. Keep posting there. Okay, that's fine. We'll talk on that. Okay, guys, let's continue. Need basics on modules and packages before going for files. Now I didn't start files, Shiva. Still, we are talking about functions only. And before I talk about files, even when we go to files, still we can do that. Even modules are not. You don't need to be too good with modules. Still, without that, we can do. But anyhow, anything is fine. Even I need to talk about modules and packages. That is a small topic. It doesn't take much time. We will quickly close that. That is also there. So, are you ready for the practice session today? Would you like to practice on what we have discussed on functions? Are you fine with that, should I go to the switch to the next topic? Whatever is you are comfortable, that I will do. Okay? It's not like what I want to do. It's about what is useful to you is important. Tell me, what shall we do now? I will only go as per your this thing feedback. Okay. Would you like to practice some implement some use cases and functions and switch to the uh, that's not possible, Shiva. No, we cannot do the end of all concepts. That won't be possible. Okay. That is not our approach of learning. So you have to be patient. Okay, guys, let's start doing it. Let's take some use cases. Use case one. Okay, we'll see. There is actually one beautiful website for practice purpose. I'll just open that. Let me show you that. What is that? Okay, I forgot it, but I'll just try it. Try Python practice problems. Yeah, W3 resources. This is one of the good website for exercises. Okay. You can see here whatever you have done on list or tuples. See, guys, if you can solve these examples, you see here, at least you can solve, some of them, if not completely. This will be very useful to you. Your screen is not visible. Can you see my screen, IFA and others? Is my screen visible, invisible? Could you tell me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, then there should be some network issue. Network issue, Sandeep. You should have some network issue. Please check once and see that. Everybody can see that. Okay. So I suggest this. If you can practice every example in this is going to help you. There are so many examples here, so many problem solving. I don't know who is this W3 resource. Again, okay. Maybe if you think this is my website, even that is not my website. But I found these examples are very useful and the collection is good. So there is nothing wrong, taking from such websites as well. So now I took the function topic. Let's start doing solving some of these just for practice to apply. First program. Write a program Python function to find maximum of three numbers. Let's start doing this. Don't look at the answers. Using a function, use parameterized function to find maximum of three numbers. Biggest of three numbers. You should find which is the biggest and you should return that result. You should not directly print in the function and say that, hey, I am done with functions. Don't do that. Usually, when you are doing this kind of implementing such functions, the point is what do you have to do? You have to, so come on, right now, program to find the greatest of three numbers using function. You have to use parameterized, don't use default function again. Recommended is parameterized here. Once done, you don't need to look into the answers. Don't try that. Then there is no meaning of practicing. So try to think yourself and solve it. That is a good idea. Okay. Right, guys. Then we will just solve at least if you can solve some of this, you get a good practice. Keep doing. If you have questions, you can understand that, and I'll produce some solutions there. You have to do this with the parameterized function, and it should return result. That is also important. And if possible, once you finish, just give me the answers in the chat box. Okay, let me show my solution because we have enough time to work on that. Let me provide solution for this program, first program. Okay, so let's do it now. So the program is what? Program to find maximum of three numbers, greatest of three numbers. Advisor. Let's do it now. So you have to take three numbers first. Okay, A equal to 10, B equal to 20, C equal to some 5.
Sir, are you sharing anything screenshot? We are unable to
Yeah.
see any.
uh, who is that? Parthasarathi or Ramesh? Who is it? Is it visible to you guys? Can you see my screen? I have still doubt here.
Yeah, it is visible. Network
Yeah,
is
I
very
see.
fine.
All of you, you see, there should be some network issue for you, whoever it is having issue, Sandeep. Yep.
Manohar, we are able to see you.
So then there is a network issue. Please, you log out and rejoin again, so that issue will be solved. Okay. So I'm talking about this program now. What is that program? Greatest of three numbers with functions. I told you to use parameterized function. So max of three. That is our program. Now let's try to do this. Now what do you have to do? We need to use step function definition. Okay. Max. I'm naming this as max fun because there is a max built in. So I just want to give a different name to this. Here I'm taking three parameters like x, y, z, not to get confused with the uh, actual values and formal values. These are all formal parameters, right? The variables which we declare with function, we call it as formals or dummy or duplicate or temporary variables. That's what we call them. Okay, now you have to write a logic inside function. What is that? What is the logic you have to do? If x greater than y and x greater than z, then you should not print it. Don't try to print here. Then you say return x. Okay. Else, if you know, right? If y greater than z, then what you have to do? You should say return y. And finally, the remaining last one is what? Else return. This is how you have to define a simple maths function here to find maximum of three numbers. Okay. But anyhow, let's test it. You have to call this right. So here you should say max of fun. And here I need to declare. I'll declare these variables after the function because this becomes global variables. I told you right. What is this? This function become here globals because you declare outside function or on top of function. Then they become global. If you declare inside, they become local. I think I have discussed this point with you. Okay, so you need to pass these three parameters to the function here. You just need to say a comma b comma c. Now this function returns some result assigned to some variable. Okay, some result equal to like this. Now you print it. Just print this function. Print off result here. Okay. Then save your program. And here these are all input parameters. Whatever you see, hash is a single line comment in Python. And if you want to go for multi-line comment, you have to use triple quotes. Okay, so these are variables which you are passing. Writing comments like this is also very useful. That's good for you. Okay, so that is also good for you. Okay, if you write comments, they were very useful to you, and you have to write comments in a real-time code. Okay, function. Okay, for finding what max of. Of course, every time I cannot write like this, but I am suggesting you. That's what you have to do when you develop it. Okay. What we are doing here? we are calling a function, then we are printing it. Now run it. There is some indentation issue somewhere. I'll just check it. Okay, here you can see I cannot put colon inside function. Okay, that is not. I mean, inside if it is a if statement or while or this kind of constructs need to have this colon, but for the normal statements don't put any colon. That's my mistake. Okay, my bad. So among all this, which is bigger here? 20 is bigger. I got it right. It is written in 20. Maybe you can input this from keyboard as well if you want. Okay, that is also there. What you can do, you can input from where, folks? You can input this from keyboard. And now for that you have to use the input function and apply casting. You remember, right? Do you remember all the basics or did you forget your basic? Yes or no? So shall I go for dynamic input or shall I just continue? 1 minute, guys. Something happened to my getting noise. Okay, now it is fine. So similarly, you can test. Suppose you give 100 here again. Run the code again one more time. You got 100. 100 is the biggest one. Okay, you can still make output more meaningful. In the print statement, you can use like this, right? Print. What is that? We can just print first result. Then you can say result comma in double quotes or single quotes or triple quotes, whatever quotes will be, is bigger. You can also add some meaningful statements like this in prints. Okay, and then just run the code, and the code will run like this. And you can see this is the more readable now. 100 is bigger. Okay, that's what. So are you good with this now? So this is program one. So for finding what is that? Finding maximum of 3 numbers. Are you ready for the next program? Okay, let's move to the next one. Write a program. Write a Python function to sum all numbers in a list. Okay, this is the list you need. You have the list and the expected output has to be like this. Usually, when you solve these problems, many universities out of India, not in India, they give assignments and you have to solve them and submit them. If you are not doing that, they will charge you. They will give punish you or give some, your score will be, cut down there. Okay. So these samples are very useful. Come on, try it now. Again, you have to take a list. List as the input this time, not scalar variables. In the previous example, ABC are independent variables. It's not a collection. But now this time, you should input a list. You have to prepare a list with all those values. Then you should pass list as a parameter. Then find the list of sum of all values from list, and then return that result back. That's what you should do. In Python, list or scalar variable or any variable, the way we pass parameters is same. If it is Java, if it is Python, sorry, if it is C sharp, then we have to pass specific parameters. The type is very important there. But the greatest advantage in Python comes like this. Come on, try this example. You can play with this. These are all simple things. We have done all this in our childhood itself. Don't go the sample solutions, not recommended. Try it yourself first. Next program, function to find all sum of all numbers in a list with the parameterize. Always for these kind of problems where you need to, that is what the function purpose is. You have to implement a business logic and that result has to be written back. That's what you should. In such case, what you have to do, you have to take, and even if it is expecting a parameter, the defining parameterized functions is very important, and also returning that result is important. Take care of all these things. Try this, take 2 minutes and implement this logic. Okay, shall I provide the solution? You want some time, folks? Do you need some time or shall I give the solution? Okay, I am doing that. Okay, I am implementing the second function as well. What is that? Then I'll give something which is not there in this list. Let us see how you are going to work on that, where it has a combination of collections, list and string kind of concept, as well as it's a good example. Use case which we generally implement in our project. Okay, so open this, take a list here. What you have to do? Take a list. So what is that list here? You have. I'll take the same values. Nothing. You can take anything of your choice. There is nothing wrong with that. We have to find sum of all numbers of the list. Okay, that we have done in the very beginning. Sum of numbers of a list. Okay. Now function for finding. What is that? See, you can use built-in functions. It happens just like that, but that is not the point. Function for finding sum. That is one thing. Okay. Excuse me. And here, I'm just naming this as what? I'm naming it as the sum of numbers. Okay. One parameter is enough. That parameter is itself is a list. I put it as li. Now what do you need to do? You have to find sum of all numbers of list. The easiest way is there is a sum function. The aggregate functions are available in the collections itself. What do we have? We have aggregate functions. This sum, average, min, max, okay, count. These are called aggregate functions. They are there even in SQL also. We have this even SQL. So whenever we are doing such aggregate, whenever we are doing such kind of logics, there are built-in functions available in a real time. If you don't want to waste time, you can directly apply them. But here I am going for the algorithm because here understanding that algorithm is very important. So how you implement things is important. Okay, take one variable here, say some s equal to 0, set it to 0, and then iterate it for. You need to take a list first of all here. For I in li, you have to iterate list, and then you say li equal to li plus I. Sorry, s equal to s plus I. Okay, that's what you have to do. Then finally, what you have to do once sum is done, and finally you have to what? Return. Yes, that's what we should do. And we have to return it from function, not from loop. Be careful there. Now you define a list first of all. Take a list, some x equal to, list has to be in square brackets and pass all the values which you want to pass. This time you have to pass list as a parameter. Earlier we have seen passing a variable as parameter. What you need is a passing list as a parameter. Okay. So how do you pass it? Same. See, for Python it's so simple. You can just directly call function name here. Is that sum of numbers? Generally in a real time, copying and pasting is a good habit because sometimes there might be typos. And that typo you cannot identify quickly, and you will be roaming here and there for 1 hour, 2 hour, 3 hours after after doing that, somebody will come and tell that there is a typo issue. Because these things we cannot find ourselves. Yesterday, I think yesterday or day before yesterday I think one of my colleagues, he is working with some data set, There is some in JSON we have that prefix name, right? The actually the root record name will be there. There is a typo in that root record, and he is getting an error, and he is trying from since 3 hours, but he is not able to find. And he came to me and asked me, he's getting something like an error called Janus graph error. And when he asked me, no, I told him this is a schema issue. Then after that, he verified and spent so much of time. What happened there? It took at least 1 hour or 2 hours after that and found that there is a small typo here. I'm just giving you importance of concentrating on typos. So mostly in real time, what you have to do is copy and paste. Don't type it directly. So because it might lead to typos. This is one thing you have to be always careful of. Okay. And that typos, we can't find it that easily, even though it's a very simple error. Got it right? So now what you have to do? Pass the result to that. Okay. Seems like okay. This is a simple thing. Now, finally, just run the program. You can just write what is that? The sum is simply you can say comma result. I will also show you how to do the same program with built-in functions. How simple if it is a built-in function. Okay, we will see that with that as well. Okay. Is there any network issues? Because I am seeing many people going and coming. No. Are you facing any network problems, guys? I just want to see whether it is from our side or from other people's side, so that we can do
No,
something.
Manohar, it is clear only. No issues in the network.
So it's not our issue. So the issue should be the opposite side, right? That's fine.
Yeah, correct. Their network side.
Okay. Because I see frequently going out, coming, going out, coming. So that's it. Anyhow, sorry for the interruption. Let's continue. Like this. Sum is 20. Perfect. That's what the guy is expecting from us, right? Same program, you can make it so simple. Of course, I want to be done with function only. Still, I want to make it with a function. Return sum, yes. Then you can say like this. The same function we can rewrite like this. What is that? You can simply say like this. What is, and here sum equal to, you can just say sum of li. Okay. Return s. Now I'm done. Same program. Here, this is so easy for anyone. Okay, let's run this one. You get same 20 now also. You get same 20 now. No change in the output. The difference is sum, using sum is so happy for us. It's like eating in a buffet in a 5-star restaurant. Everything is ready. You just need to know how to use that spoon. That's what built-in functions are. Done, right? This is the other approach. Okay, let's move to the other use case. I'll give a small use case, guys, which I really we keep working in day-to-day this thing. I know you can solve this also. We'll solve after this. Next one. What is that? Is I have a data set like this: 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, some 1, 1, 1. Otherwise, you take it like this. I'll just a small give a use case to you. Let me see how you can try this. 2, 2, 2, 3, 3, 3, 4, 4, 4. It's a data set. Okay, 5, 5, 5, and 6, 6, 6. You can take it as a string if you want. Okay, you can take it as a string and you can split this and do something. And I have a something like column. This is how data gets stored in database. Some X. I'm just giving small, not something too big actually. Column sum Y. Okay. Column sum. Take this. You keep typing this. Or I'll chart. I'll post in the chat box. Column sum A. Okay. Column sum B. Let's see how you guys are going to play with this. Again, column A missing COLUMN, right? Column, column, column sum B. Okay, you can take even 4 also. At least 4, 3 or 4 is good to implement the use case. Now this is the small data set. This will be in a file. I'll explain that with files as well. Okay. So what you have to do right now is the requirement is this. You can take directly as a string. Okay, put it in a string like this, triple quotes, and initialize to some variable there. Initialize to some variable, some data equal. Okay, this is also you can do, and push it to the right side. When you define a variable like this, you have to put it like this. Take a string like this, string data. Now, what is the requirement? Usually, it will be in a data set. Data set means it will be put in Excel or CSV or text file. Okay, got it right. Now, what you have to do? This is my simple data set. I will show you when we do files again. We'll come back to this similar kind of use case. But now I wanted you to implement with functions. What is the requirement is split this function. Okay, and store all these attributes one in one list. Store column 1. This is column 1. Assume that this is column 1. This is column 2, and the third one is column 3. Store. I'll give you a use case. Definitely, this is very useful. You can try this. Okay. Column 1, all column 1s in one list. Okay, next. So these are all variables. After colon, you get X, Y, Z, A, B, C. These are all column names, attribute names. Okay, this is actually a record ID. Usually, we call this as record ID in a real-time terminologies. Okay, these are records. But anyhow, we have three columns. Call 1, otherwise call 2. Assume that we divide it into just two columns. Call 1. We will split. I will give like this. Call 2. Now, again, what I need is we have finished. What is that? All the collections, right? List, tuple, all that. Again, store all attributes in one list, another list. Okay, maybe you can have something like this. I'll give one more. If you want, I can increase the complexity a bit. But anyhow, you try after this point. Okay, so this is the requirement. We have a data set in the form of a string now. Here, next time, when we move further, when I teach you the functions, the file topic, we will deal with such kind of use cases. Very useful, sir. If you can solve these kind of use cases tomorrow, when you step into the project, you are ready for the project. Already, whatever we have done is going to help you directly in the projects. You don't need to do again. What is that? Further learning, if you do it, it helps to deepen your analysis. That's all. W3 resources. The website name is this. Okay. This sample is not there. Whatever I am giving you, this is not there in that website. This is from my work experience. Okay, you try this now. Come on, guys, solve this. Use case 3 is our one. Others were from website. Okay, like this. This column 1, column 2, you don't have that. Don't worry about it. Solve this now. You have to split this string. Store all the values that one in. Second thing, only I need attributes here. See here in column 2, I don't want column. I need just X, Y, Z, A, B, C. Attributes in one list. That's all. Don't put column. Column can be excluded. Okay, output, sample output look like this. IAPA is asking me some sample output. I should have two lists. Suppose records equal to one record, one list like 111, 4 ones, 2, 2, 2, like this. One second one is attributes. Another one equal to, I should have one more list like this, x, y, z, this common dot dot dot. You can do it. This is not something too difficult. Come on. And I'm pasting this at this one in the chat box. You can copy from chat box. So this is my requirement. How you are going to do is it's up to you. What kind of logic you implement, what kind of functions you implement is up to you. Okay, right now. And the function should return those records that once the splitting is, it has to be done in function. After doing all this process, it should return two lists, one list of records and one list of attributes. That is the requirement. But folks, this use case is a little bit interesting for you. I have what do you say? You are already working in a project, right? But I can increase the complexity. Okay. So shall I go for solution? I think many of you are waiting for solution. I know. We'll see step by step. Already, if you have gone through, because you have implemented most of this in our regular sessions, which were useful to you. Tomorrow, if you want to go for automation, or if you want to work with anything else like this, working on different kind of this thing is very important. Now, I'm opening my idle. Copy this string. Okay. So what do you do right now? First of all, you assign that string to some variable anywhere here. Okay. I'm keeping here only. This is our string variable. What is the requirement? You have to use a function. What that function has to do? It has to perform splitting of these two, columns. We have two columns here, column 1 and column 2. So you have to put all this column 1 records. This is a row IDs. You can call this as row IDs otherwise. In a HBase terminology, we call it as row IDs. These are attributes. If you look at that HBase in Big Data, I do automation in my Big Data projects as well. I write some automation code. Because what we have to do now, when you are processing, I need to have all these record IDs in one list and all these attributes in other list. Okay. While doing functions, I'll give more interesting use cases. So now what we do is we have to pass this to name a function here first of all. What is that? I name it as record generator. My function name is what? Record generator. take a string as input, some, okay, otherwise I'll put it as data. That will be more interesting. Okay, then even if I have data, one more small information to all of you. I passed a local variable data and I have data. Do you think both are same or different? Answer, please answer in the chat box. Do you think data is the variable, local variable here, global variable, it is outside function here? Do you think both are same or different? Please type in the chat box. Are these same variables or different variables? Exactly, both are different variables. Shiva. Correct. So, but still not to have some confusion, I put it as a data one. Let it be like that so that you don't get confused. And here I am calling function. My function name is record generator, and then pass it to the as a parameter to the caller. The caller will pass this to the this one. Okay, data one. And then now you write the logic. What is that first thing we have to do here? What is that first thing we have to do? We have to split this string. What is that we should do? And remove this x equal to. This time, okay, here we should not use that. We should split this string. How do you split it now? Which function do I use? Do you remember? Data one is a string altogether. It is using multi-line code here, multi-line statements. So this is a triple quotes. So I should split data one dot split. And I should split by what, guys? I should split by, there are two things. Whenever you are doing split operation, you have to split by a delimiter. I have a space there and I have column is common for all the attributes. Which is best here, to choose space or to choose column? Which should be the delimiter I can use here? Any idea? Okay, space is good in sometimes, but when you have a requirement like this, if column is a prefix, because that's what we have done when we are doing in a project. But sometimes space might be same, or sometimes this length of space changes. So depending on column is much more reliable than depending on space here. So I go for column. Of course, if you want, you can go with space. I'm not restricting you. Okay, that's your choice. But I made my choice to choose my delimiter as what, gentlemen? My delimiter is column here. My delimiter is not space. Okay. Then what should I do now? Once splitting is done, what I have to do? I have to take, before that, what should I do is I need two arrays. So one is, I name it as the row keys. One array name empty array is keys, and one empty array I name it as a, what do I name it as a attributes. Attribute array. Now fine. But how the split happened, I just want to check it. So I print this s first and see the output first. Later on, I'll see to continue further appending, value by value to keys and appending value by value to attributes. That I'll do first. When you do split, what happens? Your string is split and stored into the in the form of array. We'll see that first. What is the output generated? So because I didn't, so generally this is a dynamic, use case I have given to you. I'm keeping print here because I'm in the testing mode. Once I done, then I return my, records. I'm not going to use print again in my function. Okay. For now, I am keeping print. Why? Because still I am in the process of solving my logic. So I am testing phase. I am in testing phase. So I'll just, okay, run this code first of all. Let's see if any, what's the result I get. Okay, run this now. And invalid syntax. Yes, of course, invalid syntax is there. Why? Here you have to initialize with the equal. Now go to run and then say run module. Okay, this is my output. It looks like this. Can you see there? Every time I am getting a new line. I got 1, 111, 22, 333, and then I am getting Z followed by that. You can see there there are a couple of things here. Okay, first of all, what you do is trim all the spaces. See, try to see the level by level, solving of logics. When you get like this, you have a space in the beginning at the end of this each string. Can you see this now? Did you find it? Yes, sir. So what do you do right now? First of all, I should trim the spaces first thing. So what I'll do is for that to trim spaces, what should I do now? Do you remember which function we should apply to remove spaces? In the values, not in the this thing, not in the string, in the values, in the that's when I apply split, split will split these values and return that values into a list actually, and it becomes a list of strings. Now from that list of strings, we have to again move those values to records. See here. So if I should remove spaces at the beginning and ending of every string, you can see every string has a space at the beginning and ending. Which function should I apply? You should apply strip function. See, we should apply strip here. You can do it in two ways. Either you can directly say that here itself on this thing, or otherwise, let me just try this because I am not sure, but still I just want to try this way. Okay, this there is an attribute error, so we cannot do it like this. We have to apply on every string, each string. So what I can do is now, there are few things I have to apply because this is not sufficient. First thing is when you are iterating for some x in s, that is my data, then I should say x dot strip because x has the each string. You know, right? How it iterates, and then I'm just printing it. I'm not doing anything right now because I just want to first understand what's happening in the logic and how data is stored. Based on that, I should implement logic. Still, we can simplify this as well. Okay? And then just print y now for now and see still what is the data you are getting there. Now run this and then, and you can see this time. Okay, 111 x 222 333 and then 444 555 666. Still, I see it's not coming in an organized way. The output does seems there is some issue with output. I'll just try to fix it now. This is tuning. I am tuning my result here. This is how we have to go for step by step. If you already know that, it's fine. You have a good idea of logic solving. But those who are new to the this thing. So when I say strip, it is not new line is there, right? Okay. Everywhere at the beginning of this thing, finding some new lines, comma, this one. And also we have to take care of new line there. Wherever there is new line, what you have to do now? I split by comma means all this has to come into one and this has to come into one. Okay, 1 minute. One x equal to 3, 4, 5, 6 again. What about the new line then? String of 2, string of 3. They were separated with new line. Every value except the first value getting split by new line. Okay. 1 minute, guys. We should remove those new lines actually. That is one thing that is there. I will just figure it out. I'm splitting again each record by new line because if you say in each string two values are there separated by new line, so I'm just trying to. Now if I see when I split by new line, you can see here. Can you see this now? Now I have more. You can see this. Again, we got what x all x and again there is a separate list. All the attributes separated with this token. Can you see that? Finally, I think this is what I need now. Now I have to move all the first attributes to one record and all the second attributes to other record whenever I am doing the split thing. So I can do one thing here now. So that x is something that I can still make it more meaningful output now. Can you see this? After looking at this output, I realized one thing. This new line and the first value and x and this attribute and this triple one, they are getting concatenated. They are combined with new line. So I have to split that by new line because every row has that combination. That new line is there. So what did I do there? I understood that these are combined with new line. So I split by new line. When I split by new line, can you see this now? Observe it carefully. Earlier, this is my output. You can see new line, this one, and x something like this. Triple two. You can see here x new line and this value. Y concatenated with new line and this value. And Z separated with new line and this value. And A separated with new line and this value. And B separated with new line and this value. And C separated with new line, but nothing is there. That is fine. But what I need, I don't want like that. I need, if I want to add it to the keys, I should now again split these two, separate this attribute and key by new line. So I split by new line. When I split by new line, whenever you apply split, you get a, what you get? You get a list as output. It returns a list. So I split by new line. So I got this intermediate list here. Every time when we split on each attribute here, in the each when I apply split on every string here, again it will split these two values and return that into a list. Now I have to iterate this and I have to add it to the keys and values. First I will tune it and later on we can remove that colon as well. That is also there. You can apply slice operator in such cases. That is also there. So first thing is so the first value, if you look at here, you have to be checking it again, whether it is a number or whether it is an integer. Check it out. And also you apply strip here. Still there are spaces again on this integers you can see here. So you have to be careful about it, okay? And you have to see whether it is a. So now what you do finally, I think I got some solution here. What can I do now? So I have applied a strip here, writing all these values to some, which one I write here, some variable, some values equal to this one, and I am applying values has key value pairs. Every time it will read one string from this S. String has all the split data. The whole this one is split into a list and put it into this S. Now I am iterating that S. Every time when I iterate, I get this record. On that record, I am applying new line. Then I get a list with two values. The first one is always string there. The second one is your actual this one. This I have found that is the order which is represented in that list. Okay, we are finding that order there in the list. Now what I do, I can do like this quickly. I will iterate values now. I am again iterating values. What I can do, I can also do in two ways. I can directly append those values to keys like this. How? So keys dot sorry, values attribute dot append of values of 0. That is first one, because I am directly appending strings here. Okay, and still we need to tune that code. How you tune, we'll see one by one. Now, if possible, try to apply strips on this. What do you do? Values of 0 dot apply a strip here when you are appending it. Okay, why? Because still, if you have any, all these are strings, right? Both are strings there. They are not integers. If you want it to be integer, apply casting. That is important. Again, I am appending keys dot all keys. I am appending to keys dot append of right, list has indexing. There are two values in that list. One is the first one is attribute, the second one is the key. Got it, right? The numeric keys. Got it, right? So I am directly splitting it because I have just two values. Suppose if I have more values, then I go for iterating it. Okay, got it, right? And you strip it one more time. I'm done with my this thing, but I just want to check it before returning my result. And also there is a still small process we need to apply there. What is that? ATTR is one thing. Then one more is what? Keys. Save it. And then go for run module. I am printing both. Okay, that I can fix it. It's not a big problem. I have, this is actually extra processor. Remove that processor here. Now let me run it. There is some issue here. Okay, value of 0, list out of range. Okay, I think correct. I have to use 1 here. That is the reason. It's a mistake. Okay, now again rerun the code. I don't need this now. Go and run it. So what's happening here is finally we got whatever expect. You can see here, right? All the attributes are in. You can see this now. A, B, C, X, Y, Z. 6 attributes are there in one list, and 6 records are there in one list. Still, we can remove this, and also we should remove this colon part also. Got it, right? Which one you should remove? We have to remove colon from this all this stuff. So that is also there. Still, you have to tune this code. But finally, the point is, am I successful or not? Is the first thing. I am almost there. It's not 100% right answer. But what I expect is, still, if I want all these attributes to be in, I'll just close this ender. Now, still, I am almost successful. Some 90% I am fine. 10% still we have to remove these colons. Then instead of removing, you can directly apply slice on each string. What is that? Just get right, how to extract a particular thing by applying slice operator. You remember, right? Do you remember or not? So slice of 1. If you just say 1 colon, automatically it will bring me X. Got it, right? It will bring me which one? It will straight away get me the second letter. Okay. So we should exclude colons. So that is one approach. I'm giving you a solution here. Okay. But still, what we can do, and you can exclude the spaces. Suppose if list has any empty, then you can directly say ignore that. You can remove it from the list. You can directly say if it has any spaces. You know, right? There are remove functions available in list. Remember? Yes or no? So you can say, you can iterate attribute and this one, and you can, what you can do finally, And if any spaces were there, you can remove from the list. You can apply a remove function. That is also there. Do you want me to do it now itself or what? If that is the case, I can do directly. What is that? We have a pop function and we have remove function. You remember, right? So I say atr dot remove of directly. I am saying to remove space, and then again keys dot remove of again space. If any space were there, it will remove that space there. Okay, the first occurrence, I hope. Then print of keys, and then finally print of attributes. This time I think you don't have even that space. Run this, run the see the output. X not in a list. Okay, I'm sorry. Attribute dot remove. 1 minute. Let me just check the API once. Or does this have any space there? I think this is correct only. The way it is shown is correct. Or can we use discard otherwise? Just need to check API once, not an issue. Run this. You can see how many things I am applying here. Okay. Object has no attribute discard. Means I should do one thing. I should check it, guys. 1 minute. What you can do is you can Google search quickly. List functions in Python. Remove is there. It will directly remove an item from a function. Okay. But how this does it take parameter or not? That's what I should see here. This guy didn't. Okay, got it. Remove of element. Correct only. I'm using correct syntax, not a wrong one. Attribute dot attribute is a okay, I'll do one thing. If that is the case, we can do one thing. We are done with this part, right? So, and we are printing this. Okay, remove thing, you do it outside. Don't do it inside, okay? Is dot remove. You know, already we have full data inside that. Remove empty space, that is one thing. Attribute dot remove. See, in a small project, this is a small project. You can see how many functions, how many entities we are involving. We are involving string, we are involving list, we are involving many functions, we are involving iterators, we are using, see, again, we are using some customized functions here. If you look at it, this is a small project, has so many things involved. This time you can see now. So I'm very much pretty confident now, because you know why you got error earlier is you are trying to remove from inside while iterating. While iterating, if you do that, it leads to attribute errors. So you have to do it once that iteration is completed. Outside that iterator, on that list, you have to apply this remove. You got my point, right? Now, when you print this both outside here, you can print of keys, and that is one thing. And second thing is, what is that? Comma, space, comma, value, print of attributes. Okay, I'm just printing both in one thing. Okay. So let's run this now. This time you don't see the, can you see this now? That space is also removed here. Do you observe that there? Might be the better thing is put a new line here. So it's better for you to get a clear output. Can you see it? Did I remove space now from the list? And still this has to be tuned. If required, we need to convert this to integer. So once you get a string number, converting to integer is just a simple apply int of casting function. That's all, if it is necessary. If it has to be string, leave it like that. Now In this, again, in this list, each attribute should be removed. Look, this colon should not be, it should not have a prefix as colon. I just only want X, Y, Z, and then ABC. What do? Just apply a simple slicing on that and append it to the same string. That's all. You don't need to do anything. Okay. What do? A small slicing will do that. So do you want me to show that to you guys? Should I? Should I show you files, guys? Guys, are you following, or is it like Greek and Latin, or watching some Arabic movie or what? Not right. So what do you do right now? So I need to remove that. Yeah, please mute your. So what we do is I want to remove that even in that output. I don't want to see it. It's causing little. What is that? I don't want even colons before this X or Y or Z. I just want to remove them. What do I do right now? Just iterate that attribute for ATTR, for some A in ATTR. You can still tune the C. I'm just dynamically doing it instantly. So that's why still, if I think better, then we can go for better tuning also. We can still reduce few lines of code in the program. Okay. So what I need is ATTR dot append. What should I do now? It has to be append what? Otherwise, I'll take a new list so that it's better for me. ATTR is attributes equal to, so that I will remove that prefix and store this in the second list. It's better. ATTRS dot append of. You can directly apply A of 1 colon. Nothing is required. Just leave it like that. Now we got a perfect. I believe we get something perfect now. We almost achieved. Almost we are successful now. ATTRS. So this is the requirement. Now if you print this ATTRS after doing this slicing, I'm just only trying to get it starts from 0. That colon is 0 and X is 1. I'm trying to get only the attributes. So what you do is go to the run and just say run module. And can you see this now? Did I remove X here? All the colons, right? Following those folks. Did you get a perfect output? You got a perfect output, right? Finally, what you have, this one I need, return this results. So finally, I am successful. Now remove the prints. Testing is successful. You can remove all the prints now, the code, because we have used prints while doing testing to see what is coming, what is not coming. So now I am done with that. I don't need any prints in my logic. Let me make it print free functions, because in a real time, when you implement a function with a business logic, you don't have prints unless and until if it is seriously required. Okay, that logic has to be there in that function. Finally, you should say return, what is that, keys, comma, and then return ATTRS attributes. I am returning both at a time. Let me see what is the output I get here. I get a tuple with the so because if you return multiple lists like this, multiple values like this, it's not just lists, any multiple values. All these values are converted to a tuple by default in Python. I taught you this somewhere while discussing the tuple topic, okay, or somewhere while discussing Python, programming. So finally, what is the point is your result become a tuple. Now it has a two lists inside the tuple. If you print that and see, that's what you find here. Just run this program and see what's the output you are getting here. Can you see this? I told you clearly, it will return a tuple. The first one is all the keys and second one is list of all the attributes. You get this right? This is our problem. Okay. So this is one small example which happens, one small use case which we keep applying in a real project. Okay. You got problem, you got solution. Anybody wants it, I can copy in the chat box as well. You can try that. Okay, I'm giving it in the chat box. Okay. See, this is what you have to learn, folks, how to apply. Not see, if you are after that blindly after syntax, it is not going to help you 100%. Okay. Okay, concept might be useful, but you will forget it immediately if you are not applying continuously. So I'm done with this example. Any questions on this? Is it useful?
Yeah,
Is
yeah,
it
it is
useful?
useful. Yeah, yeah, it is useful.
Yeah. Someone, I see some people coming in the, should be new today. But still, you can go through our channel, and if you want to recap or upgrade yourself. But still, if you are fine till this point, then you can continue next program. Got it right? How to apply these functions here? Next one. Today we'll continue this application. Okay. We'll solve a few more problems right now. Now solve this. This anyhow you can do. Multiply all numbers. It is something like doing sum of all numbers. We can skip this, guys. Let's go to something a different kind of logic. Okay. Why don't you try this Python program to reverse a string? Okay. Come on, do it. You can do reverse in different ways. You can take a string like this. You can reverse it. You can iterate from back to left and append it to a list. Actually, that is one choice. Okay. If not to list, you can append directly. Can you append to a string? Check it once. Okay. That is one choice. Second one is you can directly apply slice operation. Third one is you can directly deal with the string itself, but there is no reverse function in string because all these are immutable in memory. That's why reverse, I don't think reverse is available in string, but please check once if it is available. See if reverse function is available. Applying a built-in functions is one more choice. There are different ways, but I recommend you to go with without taking support of built-in functions. Okay, you use some slice operator or you use something like that and try to reverse it. Come on, do it, guys. Try this problem now. This is a different problem. And if you don't know the answer, Google search, no problem. Means Google search in sense while solving the problem, take some online support, but not the entire program. Don't copy and paste program like this. Then you are still in an engineering college in a semester. You know what these engineering students do in a college, right? When teachers ask them to go and practice in lab, they will keep a book in front of them and they don't know what is there. They will blindly see there, type here, see there and type here. And when they get result, they feel very happy as if they have achieved what is that they were on Mount Everest. But they don't know even a semicolon in that. What is that? Understood? That is not going to help us. Why I bring colleges. I started my career as assistant professor. That's why I told that example. Come on, solve this. It's a simple one. Whomever solves it, you can type in the chat box. This is not too bigger. Yes, that's all. It's a very simple and small function. I'm skipping factorial. We have done it. Write a function to check whether a number is in a given range. Okay, that's really awesome. Finished it, sir. It's a small function. You can apply with slice or you can write a customized logic without slice also. That is also there. Okay, I'm just doing it. We have it in this thing box. We have it in the solutions list. Okay, now I'm trying to solve this now. So problem is now we need to reversing string with a function. Simple. You can just write and then reverse string. Okay, take a parameter, some val, and then colon, and you can apply a slice here. Simply you can say return space. Val of colon -1. I taught this while discussing functions, if you remember. Then some result equal to reverse string. Copy and paste actually. I told you, right? That is the best way, so that to avoid typos. You can pass any function of your choice. You can either input it directly, or you can declare to a variable, and assign it some s equal to. I'll just take it as a Manohar here. I am passing that to a string caller, a function caller here. Just do it, and then print that result here. That's all. Print off. This is a simple one. You can do the same without slice actually. You can do customized logic also. If you want me to show, I'll show you. Not an issue. Got it right? Manohar. Can you see it now? So that is one. Okay, reverse didn't happen. Huh? I'm printing S here. I should print which one? You might be wondering. Okay, what is that I should print here? I should print result. Okay, just run this program. That's it. You got it right? String reverse garment. Do you want me to show how to do a customized reverse? Yeah, Veera came up with some other new answer. He used sorted function. Yes, we can apply sorted function with the reverse is true something. That is also there. That is other kind of approach. Suppose I ask you, don't depend on any built-in functions. You got my point, right? Don't depend on any built-in function. Still, I want you to reverse it and show me. Can you try it? With function only, you have to do it with function. Will you try that logic? Now you are using a built-in function. What I need is don't use what? Don't use any built-in function. What do you do then? Will you try that now? Write a code to reverse a string without a built-in function. Come on, try that. Don't use slice even. Don't use sorted function. But still you should reverse it. Then try it now. Come on. First thing what you have to do, you have to iterate that string by passing it to a iterator, value by value. But you have to iterate in the reverse direction. And you take one empty string, append to that empty string, keep on appending. Okay. Each time you iterate and extract some character, you append to a string one by one, and finally, what is that? Strip it and return back. That's how it. That is also other way of doing. Do you want me to show it? I'll just show you quickly here because it will hardly take 1 minute or half a minute for me. So what we do is, first of all, you should reverse it for I in range of. I should come back length of val. I should iterate from back to left. 0. Okay. 0 will be excluded, right? You can take up to -1 because I need the element from 0 as well. That is fine for me now. Then what should I do now? Take an empty string on top of this. Some st, some s equal to initialize with some space there. Empty, initialize with some empty thing there. Then s equal to, what should I do now? This just gives me only index here. Don't think it is giving me value. It gives me index. Then I should extract every time I iterate, I should extract value, every one character from string from right to left, not from left to right, from back to front, back to front. Okay, so what should I do now? I should say s of sorry, val of I. I'm just copying here. That is not useful to us. S equal to s plus val of I. This is what we need actually. Okay. Then finally we are successful. Just for checking purpose, I'm just keeping a print here inside this. Whether appending is happening or not properly or not, just run it once. And I'm not returning anything for now. Just testing. One, let me finish my test and then after that I'll just return it. It's giving me none. 1 minute. And am I passing this? Length of val minus 1. When I print this, what's happening? 1 minute. It's giving me none. Okay. This is iterating. I have a string. I applied val. Okay, it should return give me. Okay. Let me just print this indexes whether it is working or not. The range itself, the for itself is not working. Okay. What is the issue? Length of val. Okay. Should give me the length function is there. It's giving me 7. Okay, that's perfect. Okay, you have up to -1. I have to keep here. I got it. I should apply -1. That's why it's because it starts with 0, like 6, right? Altogether 7 letters are there. It is giving me 7. There is no such index like 7, so it's not able to iterate it. This time I am expecting a proper output. No. Okay. Why I have to. This is decrementing, right? The reason is we need to decrement, folks. For that we have to what do? We have to take range with 3 parameter function. Okay, you have to apply step this thing also. So if you put -1, it decrements 1 by 1. Probably I'm expecting this time we are going to get a proper. Can you see this now? Properly reversed string now. Got it right? So that -1 you have to remember. Okay, finally I'm successful. I'll just return my just string here. Return. Before returning, what I'll do is I'll just strip it. If any spaces were there, I don't want spaces. So what I do is s dot strip. I apply on a strip on it, then just return it. This time I'm very sure. This is a whole customized logic. Probably mostly. Can you see this now? Perfectly, I got it. A reversed string. Nothing is missing out of it. Got it right? Clear? Understood now? Even without taking help of range function, we can use while loop and still we can apply the same logic, even without taking range function. Got it right? So that's it, folks. This is the idea about reversing a string. Customized logic. This is customized. We are not depending on any built-in functions here. Okay. Another use case about the same. Now, what else? Write a Python function. This anyhow you can skip it. Write a Python function to check whether a number is within given range. You can try this. Suppose your range is 1 to 10. You have to see whether that number is within 1 to 10 or not. That's how you have to. That's all. Or 1 to 100. You have to see whether that number is there within that range. Will you try this now? Okay, you can check this. You try this example again. Anyhow, it is a similar one. Write a Python function that accepts a string and calculate number of uppercase letters and lowercase letters. And okay, come on. Uppercase characters and lowercase characters. You need to calculate it. Can you check it? Okay. He gave the quick brown fox, and you got uppercase as 3 and lowercase as 12. Can you try it now? Try it now. This removing duplicates example we have done already from a list actually. Try this one. Calculating what is that? Uppercase letters and lower. Just take 1 minute and fix it. Then I'll tell the solution. Okay, is it done, guys? Solving that upper. Just see, there are two built-in functions: is upper and is lower. So that you have to use. That's all. These are all simple things. Quickly try it. Just use a function. What is that function we need to use here? I'm just giving the solution here. Okay. We pasted it in the solution. Okay. So what do you have to do? Just find out. Yes, it is there. No issues. So I'm just finding. I'm taking a string and finding out number of uppercase and lowercase letters. How do you do it now? I'm just naming my function as a case check. You get some value, leave it like that. You give some string here. I'm just giving it as the quick. Anything you can give. Okay, I'm just saying brown fox. And then I need to check how many uppercase are there, how many lowercase are there. And here I'm just saying case check. That is one thing. Just pass that string to the function, and inside function you have to check it. How do you check it? Simple. So here you iterate that every character for I in val colon and some for I in some x. Okay, then for x in val. Now you have to check if x dot. For that again, of course, what you have to do is to get the count, you need to declare a count for upper set 0, for lower set 0. Two variables you have to use. If x dot is upper, what you have to do? Sorry, is upper. Okay, this function returns if that character in that string is upper or not. Okay, then you have to say u equal to u plus 1. Okay, again, if you can use elif also, that is also fine, but still, if x dot is lower, what I have to do? I have to just quickly say L equal to L plus 1. That's all. Okay. Then finally, you can just say, but check it. Let me quickly check it. Print of u before returning and cleaning up the code. Let me just check if I am correct in my logic or if anything is missing. Then I will run this module. String object has no attribute is upper. Okay. Let me quickly check the string functions. String functions, string methods, not functions, string methods in Python. So you can check anyone, concatenate, ends with, encode, find, format, index, is all, none, is alpha, is digit, is low. Okay, I understand my mistake. I put uppercase, I followed camel case. You can see here, right? That is not there here. I thought it's following Java standard, but not. We are done. Got it right? So that's it. We got it. So how many uppercase letters are there? 4. How many lowercase letters are there? Again, I should see that result. It's easy to get from 12. That's it. Fine. Perfect. So finally, you can return your results back. Remove this prints. Say return return u comma l. Okay. Finally, what do you do? Just print it. In a tuple, you get the output. So uppercase are 4 and lowercase are 12. You can still make it more meaningful there. Okay, that is also there. Clear now? Yep, I understand. Yeah. Yeah, we fixed it, guys. Got it right? So this is how we have to keep working with functions. And even you have to play with recursive functions also. That is also very important. You should know how to apply recursion in coding. Okay. So that's about functions. This is enough, right? You got it. So this is what I thought to go with one implementation session so that you get some idea. Later on in the next coming sessions, probably you insist me even if I forget, tell me to use functions in at least in some of the use cases so that that's a good habit. Having functions is something which we need in a real-time code. Any more questions now? This is about functions. I'm closing this function topic here. And tomorrow we have a class tomorrow as well. We'll continue. Or even now we can continue, not an issue for some more time. What is that? Our topic is I will try to start with modules, finish modules tomorrow, then switch to files. One more important. We'll do a lot of use cases on files. We'll see how many, at least, let us see to solve at least some 25 to 30 use cases for files. Okay. So that in a real environment, that will help you to handle file processing. Okay. And dealing with probably I'll focus more on JSON and CSVs because that is what actually we get most of the time in a real-time environment more than other file formats like XML or Excel. Even Excel is also fine playing with Excel, but CSV and JSONs are most popular actually. Even we don't get Excels, we get more of CSVs and JSONs. Okay, so we can play with them. Got it. And comma separated is CSV. Okay, and then also sometimes some other delimited files might come, but that is most of the time. This is what we play with in our project. Okay, so that's about functions. What's our next topic then? We have to switch to modules. So module is a small topic. Might be one session, might be enough. Probably we'll try to close it in tomorrow's session modules. Okay, and then I'll switch to files topic. Then after that, I think we are almost nearing the completion. Regular expressions is there. If I can finish probably by next week we can complete most of the core Python topics. Then the idea is either switching to the machine learning algorithms or either continuing with OOP. That depends on your interest. Got it right? Right, okay, guys. Shall we continue or shall we stop here? What do you say? Yes, no. Shall we stop? Shall we continue? Okay, people still want to continue, no problem. Then what do we do is we'll go with some modules topic then. But some more time, we'll continue with the modules. Let me open my this thing. And big data on big data, Python, right? Data science thing we need to take. Okay, fine. And then we need to switch to a topic. What is the topic? Modules. Okay. That is fine. Now we are there directly now. So what is a module now? What is a module? And why do we need modules? That is the first thing we need to understand. See, all of you are having a good idea about modules. You are not new to modules. Okay. Might be if you are creating a Python file and saving it with the .py, then it is a module, folks. Follow, right? So you are creating Python files, right? Are you practicing with me or not? Yes, every time you do some practice, you create a Python file and you save it with .py. Then what do you call it as? You call it as a module. That Python file which you create with an extension .py, that itself is a module. That module has all this. It has variables, it has functions, it has classes, it has objects. Okay, and all this stuff is present in a module. That's what your Python file itself is a module, nothing more than that. Okay. So here, if you look at this, the advantage of modules is readability and reusability. There are two things. One is reusability, because once you define a module, a file, you can call it wherever you want. That is one thing. The second thing is readability, because if you have a proper modularization, you can avoid the confusion in the code. That is also one more important. Because how good you are how best you are. But if you don't have proper modularization, again, it leads to complexities in the project, and you have to take care of such issues. Got it, right? So the advantage of modules is that you can divide a big project into small modules, and then the modules are readable and reusable. And here in Python, module in sense, people have a confusion, great confusion here. We use more of modules, and package means you put all your Python files in one folder. That becomes a package. That's all. There is nothing too much to worry. It's a bit different from your traditional Java sessions. Okay, Java packages. And Java, in Java, we don't have a module concept. If you ask me, you have that file name .java, but we don't treat it like that. Generally, we talk it with the concept of package. Okay, even from package, we get modules. Module is nothing but just a file you create while writing code. That's all. The advantage of modules is you can have a separate namespace. Namespace means separate naming, and then which helps to avoid collisions. The advantage of this is that because when you have modularization, one greatest advantage comes here is avoiding collisions. You cannot, you try to save something with same name, then what happens? Suppose two functions are there. I cannot put two functions with same name in one file, isn't it? But I can put two functions with same names in different files. That's possible, right? So that's what collision is. We can avoid collisions if we have, what is that, gentlemen and ladies? We have modules to avoid collision. Okay. The advantage of all this, you talk about functions, you talk about modules, you talk about packages, all this promote code modularization. That is the advantage of modules. Okay. Next one. And one more important thing is whenever you are creating modules, don't try to save them. What is that? Outside here. You can see here, save a module in a lib folder inside the installation folder so that we can have access to the modules from anywhere in our local machine. This is something we need to test it once. Okay. I'm not sure if this really going to work for us or not. But if you want to have a global access for a module, wherever you want, okay, whatever you created, then put it, what the note says is you try to put it in a lib module or a lib folder present in installation folder. You can check it out if you want. I'll show you also how to find out installation folder is a simple thing. If you say here while saving, whenever you try to save your file, when you try to have a new file, uh, 1 minute. Let me try it as save as. Let's see where it is taken. Not this. Suppose you take a new file, guys. Okay, then I just say what is that? Just save as. Okay, today actually we tried to save it, right? But usually it will be pointing to which one? C drive. I'll just directly navigate to that. Okay, you can see here somewhere C drive. Program files. Huh? Okay. Usually Python will be directly installed here itself. Manohar, not this one. There should be a Python thing here. No problem. We'll do one thing. Then the solution here is first close this completely and open idle fresh, because so that now it will directly take to the installation folder. Can you see this is the installation folder? So now you can go there and find out. No, I'll just show you. You can see your lib folder here. Can you see this now? And here you keep your modules. This is what, can you see there? There are so many modules. These are all built in here. So many file input, file, fn match, format are there, and so many modules. These are all .py files. Can you see there? Mailbox. Okay, you can see there. Pickle tools, pipes. So this is where you have to keep your, that's what the point says. So whenever you don't have idea, now I tried to search it, I didn't find it where my installation folder is. Then the easiest way is just open your idle, fresh idle, not the old one, because you have already set a path to that. Okay, go to the file and just say save as. Then it will take you directly to the installation folder. You can copy and paste it somewhere. Open this, paste it here. Say Control V, press enter. It will directly take you to the installation folder. Inside that you have link. Here you have to place your modules. Understood, right? Got clarity now? Now what do you do? That's idea about this modules here. Next one. A simple module is this. You have already written such kind of things here. First, you have to define a simple file like this. Okay, put it in some folder, dedicated folder. Then this anyhow, you all of you know this how to create this a small file. This is not something difficult for you. It has a variable, it has a function here, two functions, F1 and F2. Just you are printing. And now, if I want to run it from my what is that this one? If I want to run from command line, then I can say what is that? How to use modules? That is one important point you need to learn. Once you have a file here, and I want to use these variables and these methods of this file, then what should I do is I should go for using an import statement here. I should say import space module name. You get all that syntaxes at the bottom. So that's a quick example for you. So this is the syntax. Whenever you have a module, you want to use it somewhere in the command line or somewhere in another module, like in another file you need this existing ones. So then you have to apply this keyword import, separated with space like module 1, module 2, space dot 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 like this. So that's why we get this. That's how you import these modules. Today we will work on one sample program and then we'll stop there and then we'll move to the next one. Okay. Tomorrow we'll, continuing that. Okay. Anyhow, we'll finish it up quickly. So I'm just creating a small example. Save it as save as. Okay, go to the this one and what do you do right now? You just save it as test1 2. Already we have some files as well, but just for a quick testing purpose. So it is in learn well. I'm keeping it in Python programs. Okay, and just say save. Okay, now I'm just saying a equal to some value, some 30, and defining a function. Define f1. Okay, parenthesis colon. Just a simple function here, nothing more. Just print it. You say print of something like f1. Okay. And similarly do the same, add one more function just for testing purpose, nothing more than that. F2. So a module is ready now. You can run it and test it quickly. But nothing is there, right? If you want to test it, usually in modules we don't keep callers. If I should call F1 and F2, I should put a function call F1 and F2 like this, isn't it? But in modules, we don't keep callers. We just leave it like that. Now you take one other new file and here save it as okay, some abc.py, the same part. We have to keep it in the same folder where you have kept in the previous module. If not, you have to put it in a lib location so that it is accessible anywhere. Okay, we'll test it later. Let's save this first. Now I want to use this module in this abc.py. This is other file. This is not the same file. And in this file, I need the functions of that test123. I named it as test123.py. And I want to test this in some other module. Okay, just a minute, guys. Okay, I want to use that test 1, 2, 3 here. Then the syntax for that is if you want to use a module, okay, in other modules, okay, then I have to use the syntax. If it is single one, just say import just that module name. If you have multiple modules, module 1, comma module something like this. But if I should use one Python file or the functions of one Python file in another Python file, then you have to use this keyword import. Okay, what should we do right now? We just go to this and then say import, and then what you have to say, that one, test 1, 2, 3. Just leave it like that. Then now right, test 1, 2, 3 has some functions. Then you need to call them. I'm just testing here. I'm not doing anything. Okay, test 1, 2, 3 dot f1, and then test 1, 2, 3 dot 2, and then just you can add something of your choice in this file. This file has something to implement, right? That we implement here. I'm just only showing now how to define a file and how to call the functions of a file in another module, or of a module in another module. Okay, Python file itself, not actual file reading. Okay, got it right. What I am trying to understand, see here, I have a module already that has some functions, and I want to use it in another module. Module in sense a file, Python file. Okay, I have imported that module, whichever I want to use in this file abc.py, in this module abc.py. I'm using a fully qualified name here. You can see I cannot directly say F1 and F2. You have to use that module name dot function name. Again, while calling any members of a module, you have to be very careful. What is that you have to say? You have to say module name. This is a fully qualified name dot a. If I want variable, you should call like this. If you want to call functions, you should call like this. Okay. But let me just run it and see what is the output here. It is working for me or not? Perfect. I got output. Okay. Because that is what I have defined in test 1, 2, 3. You see, what did I define here? I just defined F1 and F2 and a variable A. Excuse me. That's what it is. Now I am calling them here. Out of your curiosity, you might ask me, if I remove this prefix, that module name, then what happens? You just run it now and see. You see this, what it is saying? That name error A is not defined, because whenever you are dealing with module, when you import certain module in a file, you have to use a fully qualified name. That module name dot that member name you have to say. That variable name, that function name, that's how you have to use it. Got it right? So what do you do right now? Just need to say test 1, 2, 3 dot A here. Okay. Just run this program. Got it right? This is how we can import functions of one module in one other module. This is one approach. Still, we are not done it. We need one more session to complete. Tomorrow, we'll get more use cases on this. We'll solve many use cases and try to understand this better. And we'll close this concept. Okay. Clear now? Got some idea about modules now? Yes or no, or okay? No comment. Any answer from you? Clear, right? Got some idea about modules now? Tomorrow we'll continue. We will talk more about all this. You can see here how to access member of a module. That module name dot variable name. That module name dot function name. I have given the syntax also. Module name dot class name. Anything you have to, when you import certain module, you have to call with that module name. That is very important. Okay. Any more questions, gentlemen? Any more questions? No questions? You don't want to ask any questions, right? Then we'll stop here and we'll meet tomorrow. We'll finish up modules tomorrow for sure. That is fine. We'll close modules and then we'll preserve for what? Files topic in the next session. Okay. Thank you.